My friends, everybody loves a heartwarming Mother's Day story, don't they? Okay, I got one for you. Item from the Daily Wire. On Mother's Day, employees at a cheesecake factory in Miami, Florida, verbally attacked and made threatening gestures toward a black man who dined with his girlfriend's family simply because he was wearing a Make America Great Again hat, according to multiple witnesses interviewed by the Daily Wire. The Sunday incident allegedly began at the Cheesecake Factory located inside Dadeland Mall when 22-year-old Eugenior Joseph was seated while wearing his MAGA hat. According to multiple witnesses and Joseph's own account, a woman who worked at the restaurant walked up to him and started pointing at his hat, signaling for the other employees to come over. Her finger was literally on top of his head. We were all looking at her like, what's happening? One witness told the Daily Wire. She was pointing at him, calling her other co-workers, telling him to look at this guy wearing a Make America Great Again hat. At that point, approximately a dozen or so employees approached the table and began making comments about the hat, with some saying they wanted to punch Joseph in the face. Witnesses also alleged some of the employees referred to him as an N-word in their conversations among each other. So then all the employees started standing there saying things out loud like, I'm going to knock his head in so hard his hat's going to come off, the witness continued. One of the employees gave Joseph intimidating looks, clenching his fists and making hand gestures that appeared to indicate he was ready to engage in a fist fight. He got behind me and another co-worker came by, and they were staring at each other, and he fist bumped me, and then he started looking at me, balling his fists, smacking his fists, trying to scare me, Joseph told the Daily Wire, unquote. Now, my friends, I want you to realize that this is okay. It's fine. There's no problem with this. These people were Hillary supporters, which means anything they do is fine. And this guy was a Trump supporter, which means do anything you want to him. Isn't that what it means? Well, it sure as hell is, based on what I'm seeing out there. If you're a liberal, you can do no wrong, and whatever you choose to do is justified. And if you're a conservative, a Republican, a Trump supporter, you are fair game. You're a victim waiting to happen. And that's the America we live in. That's the America that you and I are going to break. Because we won't stand for intimidation tactics. We won't stand for fear, threats of violence from small-minded morons like the people who work in that Cheesecake Factory restaurant. Allegedly. Allegedly. It's Tuesday. Riell Truth. We'll be back.
The American Freedom Network needs your help. Please call 1-205-6245. That's 1-800-205-6245 to make your donation. Or send a check or money over to P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. That's P.O. Box 1750, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534. Help us keep the voice of truth, freedom on the air. Thank you.
Choice City Electric in Fort Collins reminds listeners, out of sight should not mean out of mind. Let's remember our brave men and women of the military by sending care packages to them while they are away. You need not have a specific soldier in mind to help. Just call your local veterans organization. This message is from Choice City Electric in Fort Collins, your electrical and retrofit specialist. Visit them online or call 970-493-4077. That's 970-493-4077.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
All right, guys, let's kick it in the guts right off the bat. By the way, I'm Howard Riell, and the show is called Riell Truth. Welcome. As long as we're talking about small-minded morons who don't allow other people to have divergent views, here's my buddy Rush Limbaugh talking about how this great movement that seems to have been started by Candace Owens and Kanye West is affecting all of us. Listen up. That's the problem. Left understands it. They don't care. It's not a lack of understanding. They get it, but they don't care. They don't want you and me to have our freedom of speech because we're saying things that show how stupid they are and how wrong their viewpoint is, and they're going to silence us. Just like the Soviet Union used to silence dissidents. Just like China silences dissidents. They don't care. They understand. They're going to silence us because they don't mind playing dirty. And they don't mind cheating because they're focused on winning. Well, my friends, that kind of attitude is toxic. And I don't think it has a place in American discourse. Everybody has a right to talk. Everyone has a right to think. That's America. If you disagree with that, I wish you the very best in whatever country you end up living in. We'll be back.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifices they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services in Longmont reminds listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
And welcome back, my friends, to Riell Truth. I am still Howard Riell. Just about an hour and a half ago, President Trump spoke on Capitol Hill, and he said, well, I'll let him tell you what he said.
Thank you very much, John. I want to start by saying that They're praying for you. They're grieving with you. And pledging to you that they will never forget your doings ever. That's right. Continuing the final mission. Recently, MS-13 gang members warned for the assassination.
All right, guys, we're about to hit a break. All right, when we come back, we'll talk some more about it. You're listening to Riell Truth, and you know it when you hear it, right? I know you do. Go nowhere.
Animal House Taxidermy and Brighton would like to take this time to say thank you to all the brave men and armed forces who have served our country. Business owners, consider hiring veterans, our dependable resources. And to those heroes back home for missions abroad, know that your dedication, selflessness, and courage are appreciated. May God bless America. This message is from Animal House Taxidermy and Brighton. Proud to salute fighting forces of our
Check about 275, 805, 175.
Now this is the testimony of John, and priest and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who are you? He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Messiah. And they asked him, what then? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? And he answered, no. The Gospel of John, chapter 1.
The associates that you 24 are both students out of the other. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, justice, and courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families put the bill for our freedom every day. Send the military care package to take with us and know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour our Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care. We live with the blocker plan. Remind our listeners, the drug problem is well done. We know our kids will be a possibility. We want to applaud the young people that help them. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's the Melissa Blocker plant located at 66 serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized CBD and pork and complete custom processing. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, guys, let's go to another great American. Here is Sean Hannity from last night on Fox News. Go ahead, Sean. Take her away. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Sean, you're telling me that this guy Mueller is a sleazebag? You're telling me he's a political whore? You're telling me that there's an allegation that he was colluding with the Russians? Come on, Sean, baby. You can't say things like that about Bob Mueller. I mean, he's been chasing Donald Trump for over a year and a half, and so look what he's come up with. Well, nothing. Nothing at all. We'll be back.
And of his fullness we have all peace and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son who is in the bosom of the Father. There it is. Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 6. Article 4. right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the person or thing to be seen. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
My friends, radio talk show host Larry Elder interviewing Candace Owens. Go!
This is Larry Elder broadcasting from the my goodness, a radio station in Detroit no longer playing Kanye West music. Snoop Dogg put out a photo some picture of Kanye West and he's white. So let me get this straight. If you're black, you have insulated everything that's so and because you're white, you're poor. Guess who blocked the great university on Twitter? Rachel Notice, y'all. Something I said. On Twitter, Sarah said getting pounded for the sibling stories on Stormy Daniels.
All right, my friends, we're about to hit a break. Listen to me. I don't care who you are, what you are, where you come from, your race, creed, ethnicity. I don't care. Get educated. Get knowledgeable. Read a lot. Listen a lot. Read everything. Listen to everyone. And then make up your own mind about what you think makes sense. What's good for you and what's good for America. And if you do all that, I am extremely confident that you will find yourself on the right as a political conservative. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and wrap it up here on Riell Truth.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins. Serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services in Longmont reminds listeners, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
Item from Agence France Presse. Armed men abducted and beheaded a 5-year-old albino girl in Mali at the weekend, police said, in what was feared to be a ritual murder for supposedly magic body parts. Janiba Diarra, whose family lives in Fana village, 125 kilometers north of Bamako, was sleeping in the courtyard with her mother and her sister when the men snatched her around 2 a.m. on Sunday, police told AFP. Unquote. There is a belief in Mali and other parts of Africa that people who are albinos have a certain magic in their bodies, and so people in Mali and other parts of Africa will kidnap them, murder them, and hack them to pieces so they can do magic. Can we please bring a lot more of these people to America? Please? Please? Item from Bloomberg. Sweden's got a major supply and demand problem. By 2025, its entire workforce is expected to grow by 207,000 people, yet it needs more than that number just to staff its fabled welfare state. The worker shortfall could crimp services and raise labor costs, especially in a political environment less hospitable immigration. The mismatch is one of the biggest headaches facing Sweden's next government. Past precedents don't bode well. The workforce rose by 488,000 between 2007 and 2017, with less than a third of that increase absorbed by the public sector. Unquote. My friends, here's what the mental wizards in Sweden don't understand, is that a welfare state cannot and will not survive. Item from the Daily Mail. One of the most unpleasant movie-going experiences of my life, said the person who was there. 100 members of Cannes Film Festival audience walk out of, quote, horrific serial killer epic starring Matt Dillon and Uma Thurman that shows children being mutilated and murdered. Stop. My friends, many times on this show I have offered the rhetorical question, where are we? I mean, as a species. Where the hell are we? We have people making movies about children being mutilated and murdered. What? Now, I don't want to censor any movies, and I wouldn't. Liberals are the censors, not conservatives. But look at the trash. Look at the obscene garbage that's being put on film these days, being offered to the movie-going public. What does this say about our society? That people think moviegoers want to see, and some moviegoers do want to see, this kind of horror. What does it say about us? Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I know sure as hell it doesn't say anything good about us. It says that as a species, we've lost our way. We're lost. We're corrupted. We need a cumulative neck-up checkup. We need to check our souls, because healthy souls do not indulge in that kind of swill. And we need some re-examination. We need some introspection. So what I'd like you to do is, when this show goes off the air in the next few seconds, I want you to turn off the radio and stop and think and introspect. And then I want you to call me tomorrow and tell me what you came up with, my friends, because this is about as serious as it gets. I'll be back tomorrow with more Real Truth. Hasta luego.